And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Cultural Conscious Communications here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginaBlack.com. And it is Friday, so it is time for us to be dealing with Show Me the Money, we call it on Fridays, where you and I get together and we look at what is happening financially around the world. It's very, very important that we do take heed to what is going on. Today's date is Friday. It is the 24th day of April, of May, I should say. And for some odd reason, I'm having a hard time with the program today. Here we go. We are live. Today's program, today's theme, we're going to get right to right away. And here, bear with me. This is definitely worth waiting on. And there we are. And I am on your screen. I hope you can see me. I hope I do look good. Here's what we have for today's broadcast. Alcohol use and the big lie. Is alcohol good or bad for you? Does drinking solve or cause more problems for your body? Today, we look closely at what changes alcohol causes in the body. We consider the effects of binge drinking on our reproductive genetics and whether we can identify various birth defects that will follow a pregnancy conceived during a period of binge drinking. More importantly, just how much money is being extracted from the public by the alcohol industries. This is something that we can do immediately to fight back against the plunderers of our humanity. So that is what is on the table for today. We hope you find it interesting. I hope you find it compelling. Here, 1 second, just have to clear a couple of ads out of the way. We will be going deep into this topic today. Now, bear with me. I have been rushing to get the program into place, and I think I've got it all on tap for today. We welcome you, our listening audience, to participate in everything as well. Hit the like button if you do like what you're hearing. We want the algorithms to know that we have a loyal audience. So let's get ready to rumble. Where am I going to start today? I want to start, first I have an Acrobat page up, and it's not a whole lot of information. This Acrobat page I'm going to be reading is called, it's just simply alcohol. Now, this is from a story called The 10 Worst Foods Sabotaging Your Brain Power. Brain drain. 10 worst foods sabotaging your brain power. The fourth one I have on here is entitled Alcohol. While that evening glass of wine might help you unwind, alcohol's effects on your brain are far from relaxing. Science research reveals that alcohol acts like a stealth agent, gradually compromising your brain's structure and function. A 2022 study in Nature Communications delivered a sobering wake-up call. Brain scans of over 36,000 adults show that even moderate drinking, 1 to 2 drinks daily, reduces gray matter volume, and accelerates brain aging. More alarming still, each additional drink adds zero point 0.4 years of brain aging. The damage doesn't stop there. Alcohol damages white matter, your brain's communication network, impacting decision making, memory, and emotional balance. Regular drinking also disrupts key brain chemicals like GABA and glutamate, which are essential for staying sharp and focused. On top of that, alcohol triggers neuroinflammation, depletes B vitamins critical for brain health, and weakens the blood brain barrier, allowing harmful toxins to sneak in. Over time, this creates a perfect storm for cognitive decline. And continuing cognitive decline, fun fact, your brain processes information at speeds up to 268 miles per hour, but alcohol slows this processing speed significantly, even at blood alcohol levels well below the legal driving limit. The good news is that your brain has remarkable recovery potential. Research shows that even after just 7 days after stopping alcohol consumption, the brain experiences a dramatic burst of new cell growth. So, practical solutions for avoiding or reducing your alcohol intake. Number one, reset your relationship with alcohol. Start with a 30-day challenge. Research shows that this is enough time to establish significant brain benefits and establish new habits. Number two, track your progress on a journal or app to stay motivated. Number three, celebrate milestones with non alcohol rewards. Second, smart social strategies. Be the designated driver. It's a built in excuse. Order mocktails or sparkling water with lime. Just make sure the mocktails aren't loaded with sugar. That's out of the frying pan into the fire. Practice saying, I'm taking a break from drinking confidently. Practice saying, I'm taking a break from drinking until you're able to say that with absolute confidence. Suggest social activities that don't center around alcohol, such as hiking, coffee dates, and movie nights. Number three, stress busting alternative. Replace that wind down drink with one, a relaxing evening walk, two, calming tea rituals, three, meditation or deep breathing, four, exercise, five, relaxing bath with essential oils, and four, environment setup. Remove alcohol from your home. Stock up on interesting non-alcoholic beverages. Three, create new evening routines that don't involve drinking. And find a workout buddy for healthy endorphin release through working out. So that is alcohol. What do you think? Do you drink? I don't. I haven't. I quit in August 1986. And you know something? I don't miss it at all. We're going to go forward. Is alcohol good or bad for you? Well, I think we can tell by that first point of reference that alcohol is pretty bad. And I also talked about the effects of binge drinking on our reproductive genetics. I'm going to just take a diversion and we're going to go there for just a few minutes. I know today we deal with Show Me the Money on LIB Radio, but this is a very, very important topic. So we're acting, if describing the effects of binge drinking on our reproductive genetics. Binge drinking can have a significant effects on reproductive health and genetics. Studies have shown that binge drinking can disrupt the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. Hypothalamic pituitary gonadal hypoths, HPG axis, which regulates the production of key sex hormones affecting both men and women's fertility and reproductive health. For men, binge drinking can lead to, bear with me here, I'm going to switch pages on this. For men, binge drinking can lead to reduced sperm quality and quantity, as well as decreased testosterone levels. A study found that alcohol consumption can cause progressive sperm alterations leading to spermatogenic arrest, which can be reversed after alcohol withdrawal. I'll repeat that last sentence. A study found that alcohol consumption can cause progressive sperm alterations, leading to spermatogenic arrest, which can be reversed after alcohol withdrawal. And this has a page. I'm going to open that page up in a new tab. We're going to take a look at that in a second. In women, binge drinking can disrupt the menstrual cycle and hormonal balance necessary for proper reproductive function. It can also increase the risk of breast cancer due to elevated estrogen levels. Additionally, binge drinking during pregnancy can lead to fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and other developmental problems in the child. Recent research also indicates that genetic predispositions can influence binge drinking behavior. For example, some people may have a genetic variation that makes them more likely to binge drink due to a strong dopamine response in the brain. This genetic influence can be further shaped by environmental factors such as the drinking habits and personality traits of romantic partners. In summary, binge drinking can negatively impact reproductive health and genetics through hormonal disruptions, reduced fertility, and potential genetic effects that can be exacerbated by environmental factors. And that was pretty serious. There were a number of other articles inside of there that we wanted to take a look at. The first of which this is a peer review science article. It's entitled The Reproductive Risk of Binge Drinking During Pregnancy. This from Reproductive Toxicology Review Magazine Journal. The date is January to February 1996 and written by Jonathan Goldstone et al. Here's the first page of this review, and I will click to open first page review. Here we go. It's entitled Reproductive Risk of Binge Drinking During Pregnancy, and it goes. And here, bear with me. I'm going to increase the size of this just slightly. Introduction. Although there have been isolated reports throughout modern history suggesting that the adverse effects of alcohol consumption during pregnancy was not until it was not until 1973 that a distinct dysmorphic syndrome associated with gestational alcoholism. The fetal alcohol syndrome, FAS, was coined and recognized in the medical literature. Alcohol is now acknowledged to be the most common human teratogen, with the number of consumers being several orders of magnitude larger than for any other teratogenic compound. The spectrum of alcohol's teratogenic impact spans a wide continuum that includes growth deficiency, as you say, growth deficiency, central nervous system dysfunction, craniofacial anomalies, and organ skeletal pathology. However, none of the individual deficits are pathogenic for fetal alcohol exposure. The previous 2 decades have seen the accumulation of a large body of research on fetal alcohol syndrome and alcohol related birth defects. Yet, the timing, specificity threshold, and pathogenesis of alcohol's teratogenicity remains uncertain. Full expression of fetal alcohol syndrome generally occurs only with chronic maternal ingestion of at least 2 grams per kilogram a day of alcohol, approximately 8 standard drinks per occasion, where a standard drink is equivalent to an average can or bottle of beer, glass of wine, or serving of liquor, either alone or in a mixed drink. Since the inception of the term fetal alcohol syndrome into the medical literature, the majority thrust of research has been the attempt to ascertain a safe limit or average daily or weekly alcohol consumption during pregnancy. It has not been until more recently that researchers began using both animal and human models have begun to direct attention toward different patterns or styles of drinking rather than different daily or weekly totals. Binge drinking, the sporadic intake of large quantities of alcohol, is generally defined as the consumption of 5 or more standard drinks per occasion. Binge drinking is distinguishable from the chronic heavy alcohol exposure usually associated with fetal alcohol syndrome due to the isolation in time of the binge exposures. The effects of gestational binge drinking are not clearly understood, and this continues to be a source of both misinformation and misinterpretation for patients and clinicians alike. To date, no long-term prospective human cohort studies have been conducted with the singular a priori hypothesis of investigating the effects of gestational binge drinking on both physical and neurobehavioral development. There are, however, human data investigating neonatal outcomes and studies investigating the relationship between various patterns of alcohol consumption and neurobehavioral outcomes. This article reviews the epidemiology of binge drinking in non pregnant and pregnant populations and summarizes the state of the art on the effects of gestational binge exposure from both animal and human studies. So, obviously, there is a lack of data on binge drinking because, quite simply, it is unethical, completely unethical to deal with studies on binge drinking in women. We're going to go forward, and we are talking today about binge drinking. We're talking about alcoholism, the use of alcohol, all uses of alcohol. And now I want to turn our focus. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I want to turn our focus on the fact that the alcohol industry is making a lot of money from us on this on an annual basis. Let me just take a moment here and welcome all of our listeners to the program today. I don't see anybody is checking in with me. Come on now, don't be stingy with it. You know I love you. Your brother Keity loves you dearly. I do. And I want some love back. Is that too much to ask from you? I hope it's not. We are live on YouTube today. We are live on Rumble as well. And we are live every day on YouNow.com. And also, if you can't listen to us on the TuneIn app as LIB Radio, go to TuneIn LIB Radio and we'll be looking for you. We are also live on Facebook. And that's it. That's where we are. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you a commercial. I'm going to add this commercial to the stage. I'm going to show you a television commercial that shows alcohol marketing. Now, they obviously do not market alcohol as they don't market binge drinking or drunkenness, but they are marketing alcohol. This is one of the funny ads for alcohol. Why am I showing this? Because they trick us. They talk about all of these funny ads, all of these humorous ads. There's a lot of them for alcohol drinking. I contend there is a lie underneath it all. Shabaka 14. I see you in the house. Greetings, Baba. Shabaka here. And greetings, he says, to the family. Shabaka, what a joy, what an honor and a joy it is to have you in the Rumble family today. We do ask you, all of you, hit the like button. And if you can, hit the follow button. We'd love to stick with you. So here is what is on the table for this advertising, hilarious advertising for alcohol. So I'm going to mute me and we'll be right back after this. Whoa, that was kind of scary. That was kind of scary. I don't know. Wow. Wow. Is anyone else constantly having their feed stopped? I can't tell. That's a good question to ask to everyone else. I don't think I'm experiencing it here. And what you might want to do, what I do when I have similar problems, is I will close as many unnecessary files as possible. And what I will do is just that I'm going to close what other unnecessary files I have open. And yeah, that Heine wine issue is a little bit, that's a little deep. I'm going to show, I'm going to show you one more hilarious or commercial on I think I am. Let me tell you, wine tasting done right. Very funny, hiney whiny. I guess that's a thing, hiney wine. Bear with me. Where did I find that alcohol ad from? I can't remember where I found it. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that right now. Here, there's one more hiney wine commercial I'm going to show. Yeah, I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you this, and let me rewind it and start it again. Okay, I am back again. Sorry about that. I had my microphone unmuted, and I don't know what that last little bit was about, but we are here, and I'm now going to present on the screen some of the information that I have gathered for today. So bear with me, and I think we've got this up on, and this one I'm going to mute. I'm not going to mute it. I'm going to minimize me. And we are going to talk about what's in this particular article. This article is entitled Associations Between Alcohol Consumption and Gray Matter and White Matter Volumes in the UK Biobank. This article, written by Remy Daviat et al., appeared in Nature Communications, and this article appeared March 2022. Heavy alcohol consumption has been associated with brain atrophy, neuronal loss, and poorer white matter fiber integrity. What, however, there is conflicting evidence on whether light to moderate alcohol consumption shows similar negative associations with brain structure. To address this, we examined the associations between alcohol intake and brain structure using multimodal imaging data from 36,678 generally healthy middle-aged adults, middle-aged and older adults from the UK Biobank, controlling for numerous potential confounds. Consistent with prior literature, we find negative associations between alcohol intake and brain macro structure and microstructure. Specifically, alcohol intake is negatively associated with global brain volume measures, regional gray matter volumes, and white matter microstructure. Here we show that the negative associations between alcohol intake and brain macrostructure and microstructure are already apparent in individuals consuming an average of only 1 to 2 daily alcohol units and become stronger as alcohol intake increases. So let's take a look at this. We're going to go deep into this article. Bear with me. I hope you are familiar with LIV radio, and I hope you are familiar with peer review literature. If you're not familiar, stick around. You will be, definitely, you will be enlightened by what we're going to share. Now, I'm also going to share this link. Let me put up this link with the, oh, I already have the link copied. So I'm going to put up this link here. I'm going to push it onto our YouTube channel, post it up. Boom, you've got it. And I'm going to post this also on our what's it called? And bear with me, what happened here? Oh, I'm on a different link on our Rumble channel. So here it is for the Rumble, and I'm going to have to copy this in 2 pieces, X and paste it. And also, I'm going to copy this for our Facebook family, copy, and go to Facebook and paste it up so that our Facebook family can have access to this information as well. So on that note, I got that up, and I'm going to put it up one more time here on Facebook for the live video. And on that note, I'm going to continue reading from the other article that I was sharing. We're on the article entitled Associations Between Alcohol Consumption and Gray and White Matter Volumes in the UK Biobank. Introduction. Alcohol consumption is one of the leading contributors to the global burden of disease and to high healthcare and economic costs. Alcohol use disorder, AUD, is one of the most prevalent mental health conditions worldwide, with harmful effects on physical, cognitive, and social functioning. Chronic excessive alcohol consumption is associated with direct and indirect adverse effects, including but not limited to cardiovascular disease, nutritional deficiency, cancer, and accelerated aging. Chronic alcohol use is associated with changes in brain structure and connectivity. Neuroimaging studies have shown that chronic heavy alcohol consumption, 3 or more drinks for women and 4 or more drinks for men on any given day, is associated with widespread patterns of macrostructural and microstructural changes, primarily affecting frontal, diencephalic, hippocampal, and cerebral structures. A recent meta-analysis of individuals with alcohol use disorder showed lower gray matter volumes in the corticostriatal limbic circuits, including regions of the prefrontal cortex, the insula, superior temporal gyrus, striatum, thalamus, and hippocampus, compared to healthy controls. Notably, lower GMV, GMV stands for, I don't understand what GMV stands for, lower gray matter volume in striatal, frontal, and thalamic regions was associated with alcohol use disorder, duration, or lifetime alcohol consumption. Although alcohol consumption can produce global and regional tissue volume changes, frontal regions are particularly associated with these effects. Moreover, research suggests that the effects of alcohol consumption on brain volume interact with the effects of aging. Alcohol brain volume interacts with the effects of aging. That's very important. Alcohol consumption related white matter, microstructural alterations, are a hallmark change associated with alcohol use disorder. Neuroimaging studies have consistently shown white matter degeneration of the corpus callosum in AUD, alcohol use disorder. However, the effects of AUD on white matter microstructure are as evidenced by decreased fractional anisotropy and increased mean diffusivity are not limited to the corpus callosum, but are also seen in the internal and external capsules, fornix, frontal forceps, superior cingulate, and longitudinal fasciculi. Further, research indicates that anterior and superior white matter systems are more likely to show changes associated with alcohol use disorder than posterior and inferior systems. However, because conventional diffusion tensor imaging measures, FA and MD, are based on a simplistic brain tissue microstructure model, they fail to account for the complexities of neurite geometry. For example, the lower FA observed in individuals with AUD may reflect lower neurite density and/or greater orientation dispersion of neurites, which conventional DTI measures do not differentiate. Now, as this article is getting more and more complex, I'm going to skip down to the conclusion of this article. And bear with me, it is well worth waiting for. And we're getting there. Okay, let's go to the conclusion. There is usually a statistical analysis. I don't want that. That's just numbers, numbers, numbers. And if I don't have a conclusion, yeah, I'm going to just share the last paragraph of this. To quantify and visualize associations between alcohol intake and IDPs, i.e. global GMV and WMV, and regional GMV IDPs, we've been participants in the following 6 categories based on average alcohol intake. Number 1, abstainers. 2, individuals who drank less than 1 unit per day. That's 1 drink per day, whether it be beer, wine, or alcohol. 3, individuals who drank between 1 and 2 units a day. And this is recommended maximal alcohol consumption based on the UK Chief Medical Officer's low risk guidelines. It's too bad that they didn't recommend no alcohol a day, that they're actually recommending something that's in the danger zone. But it is what it is. Alcohol use is pretty much a cultural factor. And we have to understand that. And 4, individuals who drank between 2 and 3 units a day. 5, individuals who drank between the 3 included and 4 excluded units a day. And 6, individuals who drank at least 4 units a day. After regressing the influence of the standard control variables, we then calculate the mean residual values measured in standard deviations of IDPs and 95% confidence intervals by first regressing the dependent, I don't want to read this anymore, the dependent variables on the standard control variables. The estimated effect can be interpreted as the part of the change in IDP that is not explained by these other variables, and it is represented in terms of standard deviations from the average. Results are available to the readers in supplementary data figures and tables. For example, supplementary figure 3 includes the average GMV of all regions tested, both significant and non-significant, in bins of participants with different daily alcohol levels, intake levels. I don't want to read that. And as you can tell, it's difficult to read. There is a large reference base in this article, but I am not necessarily going to read that. I am going to go to, this is what I wanted to talk about. Let me get out of this link. Where are we at? We're at StreamYard, and put it up on here. Bear with me, because I am caught between various pages right now. We're live streaming. Here we are. We're on StreamYard, and I'm going to stop sharing this right now. And for the remainder of this conversation, I really just want to give you statistics on how much money is the industry making from us. How much money is being made from us via the alcohol marketing agencies. Because when we look at what is going on, I personally think it is quite criminal, quite criminal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going over here to my search engine, and I'm going to look for how much money, and I did this earlier today, but I don't know where I put it. How much money, how much do Americans spend on alcohol each year? Okay. And it comes up in a number of different things. I'm going to do, okay, here it is. It comes up. Americans spend an average of $583 per year on alcohol, which is the latest available data from 2022. This amount represents 80% of their total alcohol expenditures, the second lowest percentage since 2000. Despite this percentage being lower, the actual dollar amount spent on alcohol has increased compared to previous years. Now, I don't understand, why is the spending, despite this percentage being lower, 80% of the total annual expenditures, okay, the percentage is lower, so they're spending more on other consumption items. The actual dollar amount spent has increased compared to previous years. So I guess that just means that alcohol is more expensive. $583 per year on alcohol. $583 spent on something that dumbs you down, something that pollutes your body. That's interesting. Now, I got a couple of links over here, and the links are to drinking by the numbers, but I really wanted to know, how much does the alcoholic beverage industry make each year? Annual profits by alcohol manufacturers. So let's look and see what that looks like. Annual profits by alcohol manufacturers. We're going to pull it up here. The profitability of alcohol manufacturers is significant, with the largest global companies being among the world's most profitable large companies per dollar invested. According to data from 2018, revenues of the 9 largest alcohol companies by volume totaled $141.2 billion. The profitability of these companies supports extensive marketing activities, which in turn helps maintain their market dominance. For instance, Anheuser-Busch InBev, the world's largest alcohol company by volume, reported net earnings before income taxes of $17.8 billion in 2018, representing 31% of total revenues. In the US, spirits sector maintained a market share leading in the US spirits sector revenues maintained a market share lead in 2023 with spirits marketing total with spirits market share totaling more than 42%. I'm going to reread that. In the US spirits sector, revenues maintained a market share lead in 2023, with spirits market share totaling more than 42%. This sector has shown resilience and continues to grow, with spirits ready-to-drink products experiencing a 26.8% increase in sales in 2023. A 26.8% increase in sales in 2023. Wow, that is crazy. These figures highlight the substantial annual profits generated by alcohol manufacturers, contributing to their significant market power and influence. And there are a number of references here on this: the alcohol marketing landscape, alcohol industry size, structure, strategies, and public health response. There's another one: U.S. spirits revenues maintain market share lead of total beverage alcohol market in 2023. Distilled Spirits Council of the United States. And Statista, global alcoholic drinks market revenue from 2018 to 2028. And there's a couple more references there as well. Revenue that comes with selling alcohol, and big alcohol exposed, big alcohol company profiles, big alcohol exposed. I'm going to go right to there. In this article, I've got it up, big alcohol company profiles. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste this up here and copy all of that. And I'm going to give this to you. Give it to myself first. I'm going to give it to you so you have access to it as well. Let me go over here, put it up on YouTube. And push this up here in Rumble. Push this up here on the Rumble. And here's what I am looking at. This article is entitled Big Alcohol Company Profiles. Oh, I need to push it up on Facebook. Bear with me. It's well worth waiting for. And that is what we do around here. Okay, here we go. Big alcohol company profiles, looking behind the carefully crafted image of the major alcohol companies. Who are they really? And how do they really operate? Dive deep into the continuously updated profiles of the major alcohol producers and their front groups, and see in detail and with concrete examples from around the world of how each of them operates to maximize profits, deploying the dubious 5 strategies. And it has a number of brand names up here. We see Constellation Brands, Suntory, Pernod Richard, Molson Coors, Diageo, Asahi, Ab InBev, Bacardi, Kirin, Heineken, and Carlsberg, biggest alcohol companies by revenue. Recent data reveals the top publicly traded alcohol industry giants by revenue. Below, we list them based on revenue and with a view to their presence in markets around the world. These are the alcohol companies that seek to dominate communities and societies around the world with the use of predatory policies. And let me just grab all of these and copy. Don't go there. Don't go there. Slow down. Slow down. Ooh. Okay, from the top down. There we go. I'm going to copy all of this because I do want to put this stuff up available for me to have access to. So below are the companies. Here are the companies. Number 1, Anheuser-Busch InBev, based in Belgium. $59.929 billion in annual revenue. Heineken Holding from Netherlands, $33.56 billion. Diageo from UK, $32.43 billion. Queiqiao Mao Tai, based in China, $22.71 billion. Asahi Group Holdings, based in Japan, $119.25 billion. Kirin Holdings, Japan, $14.77 billion. Pernod Ricard, I should say, from France, $13.24 billion. Wuliangye Yibin, based in China, $12.31 billion. Molson Coors Brewing in the US, based as $11.93 billion. Suntory Holdings, Japan, $11.02 billion. Constellation Brands, US, $10 billion, $10.10 billion. Carlsberg, Denmark, $9.7 billion. Endeavor Group, Australia, $7.91 billion. And lastly, Thai Beverage from Thailand, $7.81 billion in annual revenue. The products and practices of these alcohol companies across the beer, wine, and hard liquor industries are the cause and driver of massive harm to people, communities, and societies worldwide. The big alcohol market connection. We examine the most dominant brands per alcohol industry giant. It is largely these multinational alcohol giants and their brands that fuel the alcohol burden around the world. So there is a chart here, it's very small. The biggest alcohol companies by revenue. And I'm not even going to try to decipher it. I could probably open the image in a new tab, and yeah, we can see it does open up, but it's still too small to go into. So going back, the map illustrates vividly the extreme concentration of market power in the global alcohol industry. Here, 1 second. These matter. This matters because market power means political, financial, and marketing power that these alcohol giants use to pursue profit maximization. Especially big beer is extremely concentrated, and big liquor increasingly so. The largest global companies are oligarchies or oligopolies, oligopolies, and sometimes near monopolies when it comes to national markets. Olig- Oligopoly, bear with me, oligopoly market shares mean oligopoly profits. And these companies are among the world's most profitable large companies per dollar invested. It is a total of $1.41.2 billion total revenue of the largest alcohol companies. Revenues of the 9 largest alcohol companies by volume totaled $141.2 billion in 2018. If these companies together were a country, they would be larger than the gross domestic product of all but 54 of the world's nations. Wow. Big alcohol in their own words. Here's what they have to say. Whiskey brands are very reliant on a small number of heavy and increasingly aging consumers to provide the majority of volume. In the longer term, we had to attract more younger drinkers, the heavy using loyalists of tomorrow, to avoid the potentially disastrous implications of losing heavy drinkers. Wow. Quote, if Miller Lite was to be a large, profitable brand, we had to attract these young, heavy drinkers, unquote. Big alcohol, in their own words, to the extent that laws or regulations or actions against us to substantially curtail the consumption of alcohol, including beer, if they gain traction, they could have a material adverse effect on our business and financial results. For example, the European Union published its Europe Beating Cancer Plan. As part of the plan, by the end of 2023, the European Union has indicated it will issue a proposal for mandatory health warnings on alcohol beverage product labels, sourced from the Molson Coors annual report. Wow. You heard him admit it, that the majority of users of hard liquor are aging adults, are aging out. And that the alcohol industry said they had to go after young, heavy consumers. They had to go after young, heavy consumers. What were their exact words? We had to, if Miller Lite was to be a large, profitable brand, we had to attract these young, heavy drinkers. Young, heavy drinkers. Do you have information about the alcohol industry misconduct in your community or country? Let us know. Join people around the world who reveal the predatory practices of the alcohol industry. Help us expose cases of aggressive lobbying, unethical marketing, sabotaging of rules and institutions, alcohol industry deception, and more. Together, we document and expose how big alcohol is causing harm. And wow, that's Big Alcohol Exposed is an initiative by Movendi International. The website has been made possible through the support of the Reset Alcohol Initiative and Swedish Institute. I am going to sign up right now for their newsletter. Your last name, Awadu, and your email address, Kitty at Kitty, that's chefkitty.com. And I'm going to sign up and get that email sent to me. That's bold. So they're talking about big alcohol exposed the largest alcohol producers is the particular article that I put there. And let me see if there's anything else here. Big alcohol exposed, the alcohol industry, company profiles, the dubious five, take action and expose big alcohol. Let's look at the dubious five. Oh, wait. They have another one. Health harm, social harm, economic harm, environmental harm, and young generational harm. Predatory practices cause massive harm. And I'm going to just share this link with those of you who are checking us out today. I hope you find this to be as compelling as I am finding it. And I am going to share that link on my Facebook page. I'm going to share this link twice on my Facebook page, once with my daily stream, and also put alcohol use, the big lie, up on Facebook. So we're going to begin to wrap it up for today. I know I touched a nerve, but I intended to touch a nerve. I don't want anyone out there to be unwittingly used and abused by these alcohol corporations. I especially don't want young people to be used and abused by big alcohol. For adults my age, it's kind of late in the game. And we can do better, but most of us aren't going to try. Let me just take the last few minutes of the broadcast for today and talk to you about some changes that are going to be happening. I am going to be traveling much more in the coming months. I am scheduled to go to Ghana in October. I will be at a conference in Ghana. My abstract was accepted, and I will be speaking in Ghana on the viability of Kuji-Chagulia villages. And in the Kuji-Chagulia villages, we intend to build the matrix for rapid African growth and development in sustainability and a number of other different functions. You will hear me talking about this much more over the coming days, weeks, and/or months as I put together this presentation to the world. And I'm very excited about this possibility. The Kuji-Chagulia villages are being reborn. This time, not relying as much on American sources, but relying much more on our African sources. I get excited about it. So to everyone out there listening today, we are here. We're not going nowhere. We're getting stronger. We are. But we get stronger with your cooperation and collaboration. It's going to be a great time ahead. On that note, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. If you want to get my books, to further develop these ideas of sovereignty and sustainability, check out http keidi.biz/CRP 2012, or check out the healthy living information at http www.livingsuperfood.com. That's how you reach me. I'll look forward. I hope everybody does get in contact. A week from next Saturday, on the 7th of June, we will be having our Living Superfood first Saturday feast of the month. I look forward to the feast every month. I put my whole heart into it. And if you are in Las Vegas, I want you to come out and see it. Be a part of an experience where interesting people gather to eat the most compelling, fascinating food that I am capable of preparing. And people who are around Las Vegas recognize that, yes, I am one of a handful of the premier chefs in this town. We are also operating a healing retreat at this point. And anybody who wants to get their healing on, this is the place where you do want to be. I encourage such activity. So on that note, you have been tuned into LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we have our own now. And ours is pretty good. You've been tuned into your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio. We are LIB TV. We are livinginblack.com. We've been talking today about alcohol use and alcohol abuse. I'm not talking about people abusing alcohol. I'm talking about these major corporations who have been abusing us. And that is no longer tolerable, according to your brother. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.